Boom,
Oh,
boom.
boom, we're live. No script. Real talks
Right?
for the
Off the
Facebook
cuff,
Live.
man. We'll be talking about tonight, Cody.
Tonight, we are going to be on the environmental and social influences on dietary habits. No script, all live.
Yes, yes, man.
That's
Just
like a
dive
new
right,
slogan.
crucial information. Well, awareness. Would you say it's better, people being aware of how their environment and social influence, like, kind of structures their habits? I don't
Yeah.
think like we go through our day to day, we don't pay much attention to it. Yeah. So what's the first thing we got up, man, on that list, Cody?
I like to hop on morning routines. I like morning routines. I want to hop on that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, got to get good to start in the morning. Like my morning routine, well, not to dive into like fully my morning routine, but I do meditation in the morning, stretching. Fellas out there, 35 and older, got to stretch. You should be stretching regardless, but got to stretch in the morning. Go through that. I normally do my breakfast. I do a bit carb heavy in the morning because I
Mhm.
like having that sustained burn of energy throughout the day. For me. So yeah, man, I set myself up for success. I also begin my hydration for the day too in the morning. Hydration in the morning. You got to get all that set up. What works best for me is meal prepping either a couple days before or at the very least the night before. Because if
Yeah.
you running and scrambling in the morning, you can forget about it. All you're going to do is frustrate yourself and you're still going to be hungry. And from there, you're probably going to end up at a Sheetz gas station. Trust me, I've been there before. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point, touch on. Like, it's the whole prepare for success, or is it you either prepare to succeed or you fail to
Yeah,
prepare, or something like that. Like, yeah, preparation is a big thing. Yeah, and if you
yeah.
set up yourself like the night before, it helps you a lot. I think a lot of people do that,
Mhm.
especially a lot of successful people. I think they do a lot of that. And for me, I just kind of like having a morning routine. I would like to say, if you don't have a morning routine, or do or don't, but especially if you don't, just you gotta make something that's just so simple, so easy that it's just hard for you to make an excuse not to do it.
Right, right,
Yeah. So
right.
like for me, I found like mine changes depending on like what I've gone on in life. But like right now, like one of my morning routines is like just something so simple. I get wake up, and like one of the first things I do is just I go outside, and I'll either just walk outside to start, or at the very least I'll go on my walk, either or first. But I always hit a walk in the morning, because when you wake up in the morning, when you go outside, you some people wake up too early for it, but you actually want to
Hmm.
get some sunlight in, because the sunlight has blue rays, which help um, activate certain chemicals in your brain that help you naturally wake up. So like I even have a LED light in my room, and I just turn it to blue, and I'll turn that on. But then like
Right.
I'll walk outside, I go on my walk, and my walk is like my all time, no matter what, morning routine. I'll either do a walk to the park, or the other one is I'll either just go to the gym first thing in the morning and just get out the
Hmm.
way, get my heart rate up, wake up. Same thing, hydration. And then I have like most mornings, not every single morning, I have like a protein berry smoothie, just like usually almond milk, sometimes a banana in it, and then blueberries and some whey protein, vanilla ice cream flavored, because it's delicious. And it tastes great, and helps me get up on my protein intake for the day.
Hmm.
Lets my body start getting some recovery, get some antioxidants in, so that again, same thing, recovery, and helps fight off. Let's just say, keeping it simple, just anything, toxins or inflammation. If
Hmm.
you're feeling a little down or out or sick, helps with that. And then, of course, you got some carbs in there too. If anything, I like one of my favorite things. What I found out was rice cakes, because breakfast is actually the actual term of it is to break fast, and because the sleeping is a fasting state, and that's actually the root terminology for breakfast. And the
Hmm.
rice cakes have like a really good just biological mechanisms for um, like digestion, and like kind of re-getting your body set for like eating habits throughout the day. But yeah, I mean, otherwise morning routines, you can always have other habits outside nutrition,
So, like
reading,
basically,
meditating.
and like taking control of one's environment, like
Yeah, Yeah, and speaking of the environment, right, so the next thing is going to be how to set up your home, because that
Yeah,
it's your environment plays a big part on it. And they just like if you wake up and there's like candy in front of you already, and like just bad junk food, your pantry's full of food, so you're setting
yeah,
yourself up kind of for failure. But you wake up, let's say there's a cup of water next to your bed, boom, you're already getting your hydration in. Get your hydration
exactly.
in because
Yeah,
your brain is already dehydrated from the fast you just did sleeping. Get some
yeah,
hydration and get at least a cup of water. Rule of thumb:
right.
1 cup of water in the morning at least.
And
By cup, I mean 8 ounces.
fellas, stop with the late night snacks, man. Don't wake up at the scene of the crime with rappers around you.
Yeah, but that so like stuff like that, setting up your home for success. Like same thing. If you know you have bad habits, like me, I am horrible with sweets. If you put sweets in my house, I'm gonna eat all of them. Put
Yeah,
anything. I had some. What was it? Some baklavas from Turkey that one of my clients brought over when he was coming out of the country, and he gifted me some baklavas. Things were great. I did not stop eating them until they were gone. I was not supposed to keep eating them, but I was like, yo, these are in my house. I'm gonna keep eating them. They're so good.
I'm right with you, man. I'm the same way too. People always admire me and they say, "Oh my God, you're so disciplined." Like I just laugh at it because my battles are fought and won in the grocery store. Because if
Yeah,
I buy it, I'm the same way. If it makes its way into the house, it's a done deal. That's
yeah.
it.
Like for something of mine, I really it's one of my go-to things for like when I go work out is perfect bars. They're just great. They have a lot of superfoods in it. It's got a good protein count. It's like mostly carbs, fats. Really good, just pre-workout thing, post-workout, both. Um, Pretty calorie dense, honestly, like 300, 350 calories. And
Hmm.
I use these Fit Aids. They're like kind of like a supplement drink. Awesome. Get the
Yeah, man,
focus aid.
you put
So
me on.
good.
You put me on those, man.
Yeah, man, I love them. But
Yeah.
yeah, a Perfect Bar and a Focus Aid are like my pre-workout things. But I was going to the store all the time, and I know I get them before I work out. I get one from the store across from the gym. Then I go to the gym, crush the workout for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. I've done 4 to 6 hour workouts on these things, and I just would have a couple of them, and I would like have like maybe every like 2 hours or something. I would go through another one. But so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go and just get these at the house. You can order like a bulk. It saves a little bit of money online. What I ended up doing was I just fucking ate them. I just ate them at the house. I was like, this is so good. I'm just gonna eat. It's like 12 at night. I'm just like, this is so good. It's easy to eat. I'm gonna eat it. But then like I ended up spending more money because I was just like eating them versus like just going to the store and getting the amount I needed at the time. So I was like, nah, this isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna go set myself up for success. I'm gonna not buy them, keep them in the house. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing that's already working. Grab them at the store before I go. In the long run, I end up saving more money, and it fits in what I need better. And that's how you set up for success. You keep mindful of your habits. You keep conscious of who you are, and then you understand how like the small details around your house affect you and who you are. Yeah, and
Totally.
it's simple.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then that's even another thing. Company you keep. The company you keep, the 5 people closest to you. It's a legendary quote nowadays. Your network is your net worth. 5 people you keep closest to you is who you become, who you
Who you?
are. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like same thing. If you're around a 5 out of shape, bad habit, partying, wild motherfuckers, or excuse the language, Facebook Live, but YouTube, all the people. Um, yeah, but if you got that, or you're around 5 drug addicts, or you're around 5 lazy people, versus you're around 5 like health nut, nutrition, fitness experts, you're around 5 millionaires, you're around 5 billionaires, you're around 5 hardworking people. They influence you. Happens,
Mm-hmm.
especially spend one,
Yeah.
2, 3, 5, 10 years around them. Spend
Yeah.
10 years around a bunch of millionaires, your life's probably going to change drastically. Spend 10 years around a bunch of broke people that never want to do anything, that always make excuses. You're
Mm-hmm.
probably going to go another fucking direction.
That's
Just how
right.
it is.
Right.
Company
Right.
you keep matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It totally plays a huge influence, and then for some of those who think that it doesn't, It does. It's like, it's funny. I come across some people sometime. They be like, "Oh, well, I'm unaffected." Like, yeah, yes, you are. You are affected. If you take a true inventory as to whether it is good or bad. Like you're just saying. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Got to keep people around you with good, healthy habits, because it's going to be times. It's really important when you make it up in your mind, whether you listen to this live even right now, and you're making up in your mind that, hey man, I want to make some changes. You could even be the one to have a positive impact on people too as well. And then on
Mm-hmm.
times when you get a little bit, that's where the circle comes into play, of having people of positive influence, because
Yeah,
at times where you may not have the energy to, they can supply that energy for you and that encouragement.
exactly. Yeah, and that's like something I've even used is like, I think everyone's had this where like you're sitting around some people and like you just don't like the conversation, you don't like the energy. Maybe there's some of your people, so you kind of just stick with it and do with it. Me, nope. I'm sorry, I'm too direct, too straightforward. That
Right.
I'm not gonna disrespect them. I'll still be there and stuff, but I might pop a headphone in and I'm gonna have like some millionaire that's talking or audio book or a podcast that's about something that's good for me and good for my life talking in my ear, because that's the thing I love about the internet. You don't need everything in person anymore. You can have everything virtually. You can have your network of the top 5 people in your ear at any time from any place on the planet helping you out. And that's something I really like about the internet. Like virtually that you can access people and you can really do and change things from
Hmm.
just like this whole internet source.
Right. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, and that's where like right now, even like nutrition fitness coaches like us, like we can access people from all over the planet. I have one client in Bangladesh. He's down 15 pounds while running 3 businesses. Got his body weight or body fat percentage down to a healthy, good, manageable number. His back pain has gone away. His knee pain has gotten significantly better, and he's on the other side of the planet. But he can access me, and he can be in my network, and I can be in his network because of the internet, and because virtually he sends me updates like every other week at the latest of like where he's at. He'll just screenshot his body scan that he has from his scale that I showed him how to get through Amazon, and he just screenshot it, sends it to me, and we have some dialogue back and forth there, and it's great because he can stay on track with his goals, reach out to me with any questions, like comments, thoughts, concerns, and still pursue his goals while staying busy as hell, running 3 businesses plus.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And it's just a testament to, like, he's a perfect example of, if you make it important, if you make it a must, it will get done.
Yes.
It's
Exactly.
just us. Yeah.
Exactly. You're like, this is either something I need, and
Hmm.
that's it. That there's another side. There's because there's wants and needs and stuff. If you want it, it's probably not gonna happen. If you like, I need this, you're
Yeah.
gonna make sure it happens. Regard, even if you fail 5, 10, 8 times, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna keep getting up, keep trying it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure because like it's that thing is like if you're falling, even if it's a need, if you're falling forward and you're taking, and even when you're down, you're still one step ahead. So when you get back up, you're ahead. Simple.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah. And then so let's get into the next thing of like eating patterns.
Hmm.
So I think that's another thing is like important to notice. So like let's say you and me, my eating patterns or your eating patterns. Like you mentioned you eat carbs in the morning. I don't really eat much in the morning. I actually don't like eating in the morning. I know but we both know our patterns. So we can
No, I've
set up
had
our
it.
day for that. I set up
Yeah.
my morning to where I'm gonna have my smoothie in the morning because I know that's really all I want. You're setting up your morning in the way of your pattern. You want to get some carbs in, you want to get your energy in, and you're setting up your morning that way because that's your eating pattern. Same thing. I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably eat one at most 2 big meals a day. I don't really like eating a bunch, and if anything, I might snack more often than I'm gonna have large meals.
Hmm.
What would you say your eating habits are, D?
Mine is normally, like I was saying, I load up on carbs in the morning. My favorite carb as of lately, man, I've been killing sweet potatoes, man. I love sweet potatoes.
Your
I am
dried
like,
sweet potatoes are so good if you've never had them.
dude, I could take it any kind of way. I don't care. Like, and I love the energy that sweet potatoes give me. So like for me, what works best on those days, like even the days that I don't hit the gym, like I love the energy that I have from getting my protein intake in in the morning, also some carbs, because I would have a sustained burn of energy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and normally, like, I don't get exactly tired. I would say like the late afternoon, but there's a slight little drop off in energy. But then that's when I
Right.
I eat or whatever I meal prep for lunch.
And that's, you said
I
that's
mean,
in the afternoon, right?
yeah, like yeah, like slight afternoon. So I have a snack around about that time.
Yeah.
This is a
So
little bit
that
after
that's the same
lunch.
thing. That's noticing your patterns. And just as a nutritional tip for anyone else out there, it's like,
Yeah,
so sweet potatoes actually have a really low score on the glycemic index, and there's a
yep,
lot of debate with that stuff. But let's just talk about individual item in itself. Potatoes have a really low score on the glycemic index, which means your body takes a lot longer to digest and process and utilize the energy. So like, and also it usually helps you feel more full longer because it's taking all
yep,
that time. So like you're eating your sweet potato in the morning, it's providing a lot of energy throughout the day, and then towards the end of the day, it's running out. So that's when that little bit of hunger is coming back in because like okay, this last 4, 6, 8 hours I've used that sweet potato. Now I need something more, and like that's like the actual science, and that's the food hacks. If you want to lose weight or if you want to gain weight,
yeah,
that's knowing little tricks like that, and like especially if you're losing weight, I think that's a really big one because it teaches you how to, I mean, lose or gain, I'll say, but lose, it helps a lot because if you're trying to lose weight, you know how to trick your body to still feel fuller and hungry and
hmm
less hungry for a long period of time. And if you're trying to gain weight, you know maybe some things to avoid or eat less of because you need to eat more and you want to have that like cravings more often so that you do eat more. So I think both ways work.
absolutely. But you got to
Yeah,
get in tune with with yourself, with your your schedule. Just be awareness. Like we were saying from the beginning, got to be
yeah.
aware.
Yeah, so let's hop on to one next thing is food deserts. You know, inner city. Inner city has come a lot of time. People call it food desert. Anyone been
Yeah.
in the hood? Anyone grew up in the hood or got family in the hood or spent some time there, or if you're from like developing or third world countries, so
Yeah. And
now there's
I've seen,
access to great food.
yeah, I've seen the same thing out like more like you could say like areas like I drive a lot for work. So I could say like far reaches of like Western Maryland. It's almost like the
Mm,
same sort of thing there, man. There's a there's a sheets almost every corner, and not
that's the
America,
grocery store.
yeah, yeah, right, right, pretty much, man. People treat it as that. I've actually, so you say that is like kind of funny, but I've seen people. I've been in line at those places, man. I see people loaded up, like as if you're going to a grocery store. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know road trip, So, but yeah, I mean, those are examples too, man. It's just if it's much more challenging if you live in areas like that. But there are options, especially in this age that we live in. There are options, man. Even if you have to get which one of those companies like Freshly, get
Yeah.
like meals through get sent to you. There's a lot of options. I mean, it may that's just an obstacle, but you can still overcome it.
Yeah, there's
You
a
know.
lot more options nowadays for like people to get their
Mhm.
food delivered.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like Uber Eats, stuff like that, where you can get like just a single thing, but there's a lot of options now where you can get like your groceries delivered. I don't know, man. Technology is great. It opens up a lot more doors. I mean, you can get your groceries delivered in the same way like 10 years ago. It's a different
Right.
thing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, it's definitely harder and stuff. But same thing. If you make it a need, you'll figure out and find a way. I mean,
You'll,
someone
you'll
will grow
figure it
food.
out.
There's what's it? Air Plenty. It's a vertical farming company out on the West Coast. They actually just opened up a indoor grow in Compton.
Mm.
Yeah, out in Compton in California and LA, and it's part of the same thing. They're trying to open up more access to food and food deserts because they're growing high quality fresh produce. You could be in the hood and still get something that's grown right there that's better than what's probably getting sold at Whole Foods, honestly.
Right.
um, yeah, and then just like finding those innovative ways, seeing what's found in your area. And a lot of people get groceries; they stock up for a week, 2 weeks, month. And it's just utilizing what resources you have. If you're in a food scarce place, it's just making it a need.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes back to how this all ties together, back to environment, man.
Mhm.
Like control of your environment. So like if you know becoming aware of like the food food selections or lack thereof in your immediate surrounding area. Come up with a strategy, get with someone that is knowledgeable, Cody or myself, preferably, but get with
Virtually,
someone that's
all you need.
knowledgeable about better food options and come up with a schedule and then hit that schedule, man. But if you're in areas where it is deprived of a lot of options, that's where you got to be that much more vigilant as to putting together, meal prep, stuff like that. So you provide yourself with those options, and
Yeah,
you
and
can just
like
go.
let's say like we're in the DC area. All right. And if anyone's not familiar with certain parts of the DC area in DC, Anacostia is a particularly famous part of DC, Southeast
Mm-hmm.
DC. People call it the trenches, the hood, whatever, murder capital at some points in time. Still one of the worst parts of DC. People know that is what it is. It's the reality of life that we live in. Um, but this thing, you go across the bridge, you can be in some of the richest parts of DC also. 5, 10,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes away, not even that. And if it takes, think of Jay-Z, be Jay-Z and be young Jay-Z. When he went from, what was it, Brooklyn to Manhattan for the first time, and he was like, what is this? This is a whole new world. Be young Jay-Z, go across the bridge. If you know that 10, 15 minutes, a couple metro stops, a bus ride, Uber away, that there's something better with the groceries, even let's just say with the groceries that you need, because let's say in your neighborhood there's not access to good food, good groceries, whatever. But you take a short trip away that's less than 20 minutes, let's say, you can have access to that. Even if it's
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable, even if it's out of where you're normally used to, go there, go do it. Don't even buy groceries, I'll say. Just go there just to go there, just so you know it's there and that you're taking that step. There's a coach that I heard about that he had his client just walk into the gym and then leave. He said, don't work out. You're not even allowed to work out. You have to go to the gym, walk in, and then walk out and leave, because I want you to build the habit and understanding of going to the gym and just being there. Just walk through the door. Don't put the pressure on yourself to do an hour, 2 hour intense workout. Just get the habit of walking through the door and break that level of discomfort and build that new habit. Go take that 20-minute or less ride to out of hood, go over somewhere where it's a little different, and just have that access to a different opportunity and different environment. And
Crazy. You should mention that specifically, man. I read an article about a short little article about Rick Ross. And Rick Ross, in the article, he was talking about how he was. I mean, this is kind of like off subject, but still the same premise. You know what I mean? So he said that he would drive. He and his friends, when they were broke well before like he started his rap career, that he would go and they would drive in. This was in Atlanta. They would drive out to the more affluent areas and look at big homes. So so the article was about him purchasing a house that he always looked at. He doesn't even live in it.
okay.
He said he just purchased it. But I mean, but it's tying back into what you just said about having that visual, man. Get out, and that's so important for you to get out of what your environment is, and go. Even if you can't take advantage at that very moment of what is accessible there, but just to know, like you said, go there, know that it's there, and start to begin to build the vision of acting on that.
Yeah, the power of
Um,
visual tools. There's like,
yeah.
if you've never seen something, you don't know it's possible. If someone never showed you $1 million check, you might never think it's real. But then,
Mm-hmm.
like, when you see when it's in front of you, it's undeniable. You're like, it's possible. Regardless
Right.
if you're not there or not, it's possible. So you know that if another human being can do this, at the very least, regardless of if we have different stories, different backgrounds, different hurdles, it's possible for a person to do it. I can do it because I'm a person and they're a person. And if they can do it, there's some potentiality that I can also do it too.
That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
Good
And D,
stuff.
next subject, we're going to hop on family life from the family man in front of us.
Yeah, man. Family life, man. It's like all these things intersect. So it's it is challenging. Depending on your family background. One of the examples that come to mind is like my grandmother. My grandmother grew up on a farm, and God rest her soul. She she grew up cooking like a lot of like real traditional soul food that was very, very comforting, tastes really good, but it wasn't the best, health wise, long run. So my grandmother in the latter stages of her life, what she did, I mean, don't get me wrong, like she was put in a position where she was forced to, because my grandfather had like his first stroke, and so they had to drastically make some changes. So an example of what she switched from, she didn't stop, cooking soul food. She just changed up. She went from, putting in, I think they put like some sort of like fat back, like in collard greens, for example. She switched from that to
Lard.
just smoked turkey necks. She switched up. So, you have, depending on your culture, family background, the nutritional value that entails. And maybe it's not, maybe it will be pose a challenge to kind of break away from those traditions. But let me, a better way to put it is that you don't need to break away from those traditions. Just actually make some changes to it. And there's
Yeah.
tons, like you go to Pinterest. There's just about any food recipe you could think of. There's an alternative, more healthier recipe out there. So it's stuff
Yeah.
like that you got to tap into. And then I track back in my family, diabetes, man. My grandmother was a great baker, another thing, she had to stop that too, or at the very least got to make some changes. You have to make that
Right.
changes. And the better, like, for anyone listening to this, if you're just getting married, it's best for you and your significant other, before you have kids, to establish a nutritional plan in that house. Don't just do willy-nilly, because
Yeah.
you're gonna it's two adults, like, everyone out there, whether you're one or two adults, a couple, you guys can get by at different times. You can get by, and place an emphasis on get by. Isn't that you're not going to have the best optimal performance for your body, but you can get by on like that college living, ramen noodles here and there. But when it comes to raising your kids, you want to instill good nutritional habits into them. You got to
Yeah.
have that in, got to have
Yeah.
that. Get them on a schedule as well. It's going to
Yeah,
take them
because I
along.
think it's like, a lot of people grow up and they're like, I don't like greens. And I've heard some adults say they don't eat vegetables. I think that
Yeah,
goes back to like maybe
man.
your parent when you were a kid made some Brussels sprouts that were just trash and they just didn't taste good. I mean, I think anything can be good as long as it's made right. Because I've seen people say they hate something and it's made in a different way, and they're like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I was like, "Oh, I just thought you said you hated it." Well, it's like, yeah, obviously it wasn't made right. Um, well, yeah, it's like if you instill like those good eating habits and patterns early on, you just set up your kids, your future generations, the most important people in your life, your seed for success later on. And like, the earlier you start that, the better it is. It can be kind of stories. I like to use Samuel Jackson or what's the game show host? Steve Harvey, like stuff like people like that. They had like certain habits and stuff that didn't always contribute to their success and good well-being. They changed them at some point and it turned the table. Samuel Jackson, most people don't realize the dude didn't make his first million, so I think it was 49. That's when he hit. I think Reservoir Dogs was his first movie that he made big. And
Mm-hmm.
but like 2-3 years before Samuel Jackson was in that and became the Samuel Jackson we know and love today, one of the best movie stars ever. Love the dude in all his movies. Is like 2-3 years before that, he was dying and dead on his kitchen floor because he overdosed because he used to do a lot of drugs. And
Mm-hmm.
and at that point he finally hit a turning point where he cut them off, quit them, focused on acting, and then a couple years later, dude's started on the path to become one of the biggest movie stars in our generation. Yeah, it's just those things can just build up over time of
Mm-hmm.
like your patterns and habits. And it was his family that helped him, as his wife, that helped him get into like a good path.
Yeah.
But do you want to start at 47 or do you want to start at 7 to be successful? I've got to start
Yeah.
at 7 because that's a
Let's
lot of
start with
years
that.
I can never get back.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where, like, when it comes to family, especially like the heads of, like, the men, both parties, that is, you got to instill those habits, those good eating habits in kids, young,
Yeah.
because it'll be much more difficult, like you just said, for them to get older and try to make those corrections in their latter stages of their life. It's going to be much more challenging. And then on top of that, you don't even know by that time what sort of health issues they're coming across too, as well.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
like my family, my dad and my uncle both died from diabetes, or in relation they had diabetes. Other people in my family have complications with that, grandparents, all that. But like people don't always have bad intentions, but sometimes they just do things, even with good intentions, that can still hurt you. If my mom, you
Yeah.
ever see this, love you, but we've talked about this, that my mom, she used to leave like candy bowls out a lot, and like I said, put some sugar in the house, I'm gonna eat it. And best believe, I grew up eating a lot of candy, and
Yeah.
I always had in the back of my mind though that worry of like, oh, my dad and my uncle had issues with diabetes. Oh, sugar is not good, and bad eating habits like this are not good in the long run for diabetes.
Hmm.
This is not good. And then like, and I know I'm not gonna have the self control. I'm aware of myself enough that I'm gonna eat that sugar, I'm gonna eat that candy. But
Yeah.
like, that's the thing. My mom never has bad intentions with it. She's like, no, she loves me. She knows I enjoy it, so she's gonna put it around. But
Hmm.
like, it's counterproductive for what I really want, for like the real good.
Yeah. Like, yeah,
It's good
long
intentions, but bad result.
bad result, long term. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And like, let's just say in relation to family life, you have home cooked meals. Maybe if you're a busy professional, your wife, your husband. Oh, D, I lost you. Oh, you're back. Uh,
Yeah.
but like, let's say someone else in your family makes the meals, and you don't always have control of what you're eating. And let's say if you're on a nutrition plan, maybe trying to lose fat, build muscle, whatever, it might always not be the most productive or conducive to that. But that's what you have to work as a team, try to work as best you can. And then again, same thing, set up your house for success. If
Hmm.
someone is gonna cook certain things that maybe are not good for you, I gotta work together to then sit there and say, hey, we have to put the right things in our house so we don't even leave the option to fail. Like if you
Right.
create the
Right.
option to fail, a lot of time you might just fail. But if you take the options away to fail, set yourself up for success. Set up your house for success. Set up your routines of success. Know your patterns, and because you gotta know not just what makes you thrive. You gotta know what also makes you. Gotta start with what makes you fail. I know if I put a bunch of sugar, go partying a lot, I'm gonna put myself in a position to fail in relation to my health, my fitness, and also on top of that, it's in the end, it's gonna take away from my professional goals because they chip away from me. I know that.
Mhm.
When at times in life when I've not taken care of my health, my fitness, um, you know, you I have some friends, they do not always have the best emotional control. They do not
Mhm.
always handle chaotic or stressful situations the best. But they also go out, party a lot, and do a lot of things. And guess what? When I did a lot of that stuff too, I was in the same situation. And the times in life when I'm on top of my nutrition, on top of my diet, on top of my fitness routines, on top of my good habits, meditating, running, walking, um, reading, being around the right people, I
Mhm.
handle those situations when they come up significantly better. I'm a lot more cool, calm, collect, or I can figure out how to walk through the fire of stressful situations a lot better when those things are checked off. And
Absolutely.
it's not because I'm a special case scenario, it's because I'm a human, and that's just how we work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep putting trash in your body. Same thing like we said, I think the other week, put trash in your body, you get trash results. And
Trash
it's
and
not
trash.
just with like nutrition fitness, it goes into spills into other areas of your life.
Mhm. That's true, man. Trash,
Yeah.
trash in, trash out.
Yeah, because all this in the end and is just going back to like food options and accessibility in like your commute and community. Like your community can be your home, it can be your work environment, it can be the type of stores around you, just where you spend a lot of your time. And like, if you're aware of the good and the bad around you, you know how to move through them smarter and how you again set yourself up for success.
Mhm. Because the
Yeah.
options are out there, man. It may be a challenge depending on where you are, but the options are out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave, let's go on to this next one is going to be social drinking and how it relates to dietary goals.
We
Let's hit
left
the
this
next
one for
topic
last. People
conversation.
they're probably like, oh man, how much they tell me cut back on drinking.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
just
balance.
Yeah, it's a balance, man. What I have gone from, I mean, Cody, come on, man. We've been boys for a while. How many times have you and I been out knocking them back? You know what I mean? I mean, let's
We've
not
done a
go.
lot of you've
Yeah.
seen me die a couple nights. I was like, I can't move, can't move. There was one 12 seconds ago. Now there's 12. What
Hey,
happened? What's going on? Can't
that's
move. Can't even
that's
open my eyes. Too much sauce and other substances have entered my
yeah,
body. I'm
yeah,
done.
yeah. There's a couple stories that haven't been declassified yet. We're gonna leave that out.
No,
But
we're gonna leave the details there.
yeah. But yeah, man, you and I both, we've made that shift. Like I still, what gets lost in our culture, I think, is like the enjoying the social aspect, of like,
Mhm.
being out. And I think, like, of course, like we're coming into whatever this new normal is, post, post,
Post COVID.
yeah, post COVID, if there is a such thing. But we're coming to that, in this new arena. So when people start going out for that social gathering, hopefully they can just be more conscious of that. Because now when I go
Yeah,
out, I've gone from drinking what would be normal, especially this time of the year for me, like having a bourbon. Like I'll just have like a Michelob Ultra, like, and I
yeah,
enjoy myself. I find that I not only I enjoy myself much more because I'm not sloshing around. It's just I get
yeah.
more enjoyment, and I'm
Well,
more
it's also
present.
like I think it's again kind of reiterating on everything we're talking about. Like your patterns and habits. Like for me, if I go out and drink, I might have 2, 3 drinks and cut myself off because I know after that I'm like all in. Like after 3, we're gonna go to 5, 8, 10, and it's cool, whatever. We're just gonna have a good time.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's also
yeah,
like again preparing for success. Like why do you go out? Why are you going out?
right.
What do you really want to do? If you're going out, and let's talk in terms of dudes or chicks. If you're going out because let's say you want to have some intimacy, all right, we're gonna keep it a little PG, whatever, intimacy, and like be honest with it. Like don't go out trying to get super drunk because you feel like you need to have all this liquor and confidence. Me and one of my friends a while back, I used to go clubbing a lot, and me and my friend, I had one friend in particular. We had access to a lot of clubs in DC. We never waited in line. We'd always go in. We'd always usually get like a table, just all off the cuff, free. We knew the bouncers, bartenders, promoters, all the stuff. So we would just get in and get everything, and we had access to everything. But we knew what we were going out for. We were going out, one, to have a good time, and two, because we were trying to hook up a little bit. And
Right.
and we were honest about it. But the other thing we were honest about was, look, if we go out and we drink and we try to get with women and enjoy our time, well, when we're not drunk, what are we going to do? Because every time we go out and have fun and every time we try to talk to women, we have to have alcohol. So what we did was we intentionally did not drink at all, never. And we would go out and have a ball ass time. We would always talk to women. We would always we'll save the rest of the details. Um, but we would set ourselves up because we knew what we were going out for. We were like, look, if we want to bring these skills and this mindset back to our normal life when we're not going out and partying, we're not drunk all the time. And if you are, you're an alcoholic and you have serious issues. So like if we want to go out and be honest, if I'm going out to have fun, I'm going out to go maybe hook up or get some numbers and make something happen later on. We're gonna be honest about that. We're gonna go out and we're gonna hone that skill set, hone that mindset. And when I'm going out, the same mindset as I have on a daily basis, the skill set, those conversations, all that comes back to my regular life because I'm in the same place. But if I'm drunk every time, they're gone. They're not there because I have
Right.
to be drunk every day, which is not good.
Yeah, it's
Which,
not good. And
yeah, like,
anyone out there listening to this, man, really, you don't have to make the drastic change like overnight. But let's say, like how you said, just cut, like, kind of, like, if you know your habits, right? Let's say your habit is you go out and you do like 3 martinis. Like maybe change that up to maybe 2 martinis and a beer, or maybe 1 martini in 2 beers.
right,
Something like
mix
that.
it up,
You will
cut
you
it off,
will
man.
at the very least, going out in these bar scene social environments, it's going to reveal to you as to what you're there for, even if you're just in the unconscious routine habit of it. Because if you go and you change that, and if you start to see that your enjoyment is like not there, and if it's tied to just purely alcohol, then that's a whole different thing, like how you
Yeah,
said. And then you have to be honest with yourself about a whole different number of questions. But
Yeah.
going out and just making those adjustments, and then on the back end of everything, you get home safe. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about getting pulled over, getting a DUI, or anything like that. And you're just being more responsible, and you're going to, and trust me, you get more enjoyment out of the social scene. You will.
Yeah, and yeah, man, it's all going back to, again, knowing why and what you're going out for. Like alcohol, I think it is a good tool as like a social lubricant, as it's been called. It can enhance the situation, but
Right.
again, keep it in mind what it is. It's there to enhance the situation and enhance the night, enhance the fun, enhance
Hmm.
maybe certain things you're doing. We'll just keep that in the intimacy world. We'll keep it as that PG, but
Hmm.
like keep it there. Like it, but if it becomes the star to show, you're not using it as an enhancement to have fun. You're just getting trashed. And then like,
Yeah.
I like the quote: "A drunk 20-year-old is cute and funny. A drunk 30-year-old that can't handle themselves is kind of sad." And and that's the thing again. Like, know why you're going out. If you're going out to have a good time and enjoy yourself, maybe hook up because we're humans. We all like to do our thing. Be
Yeah.
honest with that, and then like leave that as a real intention. But don't start drinking yourself in excess, especially if you're gonna like destroy your nutritional fitness goals, or it's gonna bleed into other areas of life, like
Yeah.
maybe ruin a professional relationship or a personal relationship
Yeah.
because you lost grip of what you really were going out for, which was having a good
Absolutely.
time, maybe connecting with people, maybe going and hooking up. Whatever. That's the reality of what you're going for. But don't then just destroy that with excess drinking
Yeah.
because you were being dishonest with yourself, because you're not hurting anyone but yourself then.
And that's the biggest thing, Cody, man. I'm so glad you said that. Being honest with oneself, man.
Yes.
Just be honest with what with your actions and what your actions are going to produce. Be
Mm-hmm.
honest with yourself about that. Whether you're going out and people, most people subconsciously they got that voice for you speaking to them. They already know. They
Yeah.
take that voice like, yeah, you tell that voice to shut up. We're going to the bar. We're having bourbons tonight. But you gotta be honest with yourself. And there
Yeah.
you can, whatever the situation is, you can, you at least you're dealing in the realm of reality.
Yeah, and then let's extend this on to like again the five closest people to you. I have certain friends, and honestly, they are every time I want to go out and party, I'm gonna hit y'all up. You know who you are. Y'all
I know.
great. I love you. Y'all fun as hell. I
You
love it.
gonna one? Oh, it starts with a J. We know. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Jocelyn, I love you. Shout out to
Got,
Jocelyn.
shout
Kevin
out
Wolf,
Jocelyn.
shout out to you.
I
Y'all, I
love,
love partying with you every
I
single
love
time.
you so
Y'all
much.
like the first people I call.
I wanted to shoot her on many nights for the party to stop. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Like, if you know that that's who they are, be real with it. Be honest. Be like, yo, that's the person I go and party with, and I know when we go out, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna party. We probably gonna get wasted, and we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be fun. But then at the same time, realize that like if you're not trying to do that, or if it's out of line with your goals, then maybe you should help your friend that doesn't drink and just wants to have a good time, great conversations, have fun, maybe go out and have a great meal, maybe go to the gym, whatever they do. But like I have other friends where it's like I know if I hit them up and we go out, that's not what we're doing. And it's like right now I'm in a place in life where I'm not trying to go out and party. I'm focused on work, business, gym,
Work
and
business.
anything outside, it's family or close friends. It's real. Everything else goes to the side. And
Mhm.
like, and I'm honest about it. I'm real with it. And I set those boundaries. I set those barriers. And like when I want to go out right now, it's I want to go to a nice restaurant, have some great food. I don't want to drink. And I just want to have a good conversation with a cool friend and just enjoy myself. And I'm gonna hit up my friend that I know wants the same thing. Versus, I have a bunch of other friends, especially the couple that we mentioned, that like I know if I go out with the other friend, oh, we drinking, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff. Is not might not be the best thing for my goals.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, like I love y'all, but like I gotta keep my priorities and purpose in line and keep my boundaries. So because of that, I'm gonna go hit up my other friend and I'm gonna go spend time with them because it's in line with what I'm trying to do in my life right now. And that's
Absolutely.
it's the raw, hard, honest truth. And if they're your real friends and they really love you and they're really a lifelong friend, they understand and they're gonna and they'll know eventually you're gonna ring up that phone and we're gonna have that night out and it's cool. But if it's not in line, then that's the honest truth.
Yeah. See, all my friends out there I haven't seen in a while. Don't give up on me, man. Keep on inviting me.
Likewise.
I'll say yes one day.
Yeah, we've had a good times in the past. They'll be in the future, but it's gotta be in line. We
Gotta
gotta be
be
in
it.
line.
Gotta be in line, man. Gotta be in
Yeah,
line
and
with
then
the target goal.
yeah, and let's extend this out. Let's go away a little bit from the present. Let's go to the past. So, was it childhood food influences and genetic influences on food? That's the next topic I really like to hop on with that because they do have a big impact, more than most people probably believe, on like what you enjoy and how your brain tells you what you enjoy.
Right.
So, and even what kind of diets work better and worse for you. So like childhood influences, one thing is like, certain things from your childhood. You mentioned earlier your grandmother made certain things that you love. And now as an adult, most likely when you still see those foods, you probably in your
Oh,
brain, you're like, oh, I want to eat
oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. One that
Yeah.
comes to mind, grandmother would make this my grandma would make banana pudding with like the the old school, what you call those, the thin wafer,
Oh, the
right?
wafers. Yeah.
Wafers. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If I had some of that in the house right now, done deal. It's gone.
Gone.
It's
Gone.
done. So if I see stuff like that, it's funny like how, you have that emotional attachment to it, Like if I see it in
Yes.
a grocery, it's so funny is that my brain still goes like squirrel, like, oh hey man, there's a banana
Like
pudding over
what?
there. No, we can't get that. But I'll still look at it though. I'm like, man, that looks good.
Yeah.
And that ties into that emotional sort of like childhood
Mhm.
thing that is still associated with. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a real psychological. They've done studies on it. There's a real psychological influence on what you ate as a child and what your childhood favorites were, and especially things that had family events, holidays. We all had something that mom, dad, grandma, sister, somebody, brother made that you just loved. Yeah, anything, sweets, candies, they were always around. I still love them to this day. I put them in my house. I'm gonna eat them all up, destroy them, gone. I'll eat 10,000 calories of sweets happily, and I'll take the consequences because that's just I know I don't got discipline for it. I'm gonna eat all of that. But that's again, I'm not gonna keep it around and like save it for the right time and place. But that's again knowing what did you enjoy as a child and thinking now what are some of your favorite foods, or if you're like you said, if you're passing by some food and it like lights up your brain, think back to your childhood. Did something like that relate to your childhood? There's a good
Yeah.
chance a lot of things will. And
Hmm.
you just gotta be aware of it. And same thing, like if you're trying any certain nutritional diets, because they're all just none of them are like perfect, and they're all just different tactics for the overall strategy of fat loss or muscle gain or a healthier lifestyle or performance goals. I lost your D. Oh, you're back. but but yeah, it's just they're all just different tactics. None of them are by science. Like there's certain things, Mediterranean diet, Japanese, like that. Yeah, they're proven healthier, but they also have lifestyle components of it. And but they all go back to the same fundamentals: real whole foods, a wide range of different colored fruits, vegetables, nuts, different cuts of meats, certain amounts of them. They always go back to the same root, like I guess resources, and that's what makes them work. It's not because people from Japan or the food from Japan is a certain way. No, it's just because, or the same thing that the Mediterranean diet are grown a certain way. No, it's just they have certain things they eat, and it's just real whole foods and a wide spectrum of them they eat, and that combined with an active lifestyle, social gatherings, and just all the right combination of things that make it work. That's all it is. So, but
Yeah.
then you can extrapolate on that, like if certain genetic backgrounds do work with like a higher fat diet, which that's why some people for keto will work great because maybe your ancestors survived on a lot more animal products and fats, didn't have access to carbs. That's why it works for you. Versus other people with their genetic background, they maybe had a lot more farmers or more agriculture, so they ate more vegetables and more carbs, more rice, something like that, and that works for them. And that is a
Right.
legitimate thing. Your ancestors, what they ate, does actually influence and affect what does and does not work for you.
Absolutely.
It's a proven study, and it's just you can't change thousands of years of your past.
Hmm.
None of us even live that long. If you live to 100, congrats, because you're part of a few. But you're not changing what thousands of years and multiple generations did before you that made you. And because of that, certain macro distributions, so fats, proteins, carbs, some work better than others. And like for me, I find personally I can do great on like a Mediterranean diet. It's probably the best thing I could. If someone was like, Cody, you can only eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, and fish, and let's say even cut out red meats or just significantly limit it, I would be good with that. I've done it before and it works great. Japanese, a little bit less if I do it consistently. Just too much sodium in some ways. Just too much of some things in it that don't work as well for me, but still works great, but less so. And then also on top of that, if getting a little away from genetics would be like performance goals, but which then it could tweak it. But with just sticking with genetics, certain food groups, certain amounts of food groups, and certain dietary strategies, paleo, keto, vegetarian, vegan, Japanese, Mediterranean, all these things. They work in different ways. The only one that I will say doesn't work for anyone is standard American diet. Stay away from it. It is sad. That's why the acronym is SAD. It is horrible for you.
But yeah, man, it all ties back to being aware of like your current day-to-day schedule, and what preceded you, like how you just touching on, culturally, not just within your family lineage, but culturally as well. Because hands down, I'm right with you, man. I could do Mediterranean diet. Pretty much that's what I do, even like right now. I could do that, easier than anything. And then no matter where there are, of course, exceptions, but within the confines of this country, there is a solution out there, and you just have to find it. You can.
Yeah.
You can find it.
Yeah. So like one thing I'll say with this is like tactics and strategy. I got this definition like ingrained in my brain from Jocko Willink in one of his books. It was like a leadership book. But like what strategy actually is for like the overall end goal, and tactics are the steps that you're taking to achieve that end goal. So if your overall end goal is body fat loss, then the Mediterranean diet or a high protein diet or cutting out carbs or going keto or going to the gym a lot or going on runs, whatever it is, those are just different tactics for your overall end goal. They're all just different steps for you to achieve your end goal. And because of that, none of them are right. Like definitively, it's just different things and different options that allow you to get to your end goal, which means there's different options. You don't need to cut out your favorite foods. You don't need to completely revamp and change your life. You just need to understand what your end goal is and what are the different options to get there. And if you have enough of tools in your toolkit, which are your options, you can successfully navigate the obstacles and barriers to get to your goal.
That's true.
Cool. Well, D, anything else you got in your mind? Anything else you want to hop on?
Man, I think we hit a lot of good points, man. Tons of good points. It's just, man, what we want to encourage people, overall, like I'm going to beat it like a dead horse, is just really getting in tune, with yourself and stop going through the motions day to day. I mean, because like especially in our society, I mean, it's easy. I think that's like the standard operating mode of most people. Is that, I see like shit, you and I would get up in the morning going to work, and like how many people you see routinely, they're the line at Starbucks, they're just drinking 16 32-ounce, some cases, coffee that's going to have them jittery all day.
Yeah, loaded with sugar and cream, and
yeah, man,
they got their whole days of calories just in their first drink.
And it's like you don't have to do that trade-off. Like, so this, it's like, yeah, so it's just becoming like, the biggest thing is just becoming aware, and not getting overwhelmed, because you can make changes, slowly but surely. Just make changes, man. But become aware and be like how you said earlier. We'll leave everyone with this: is just being honest with yourself as to what you're doing. Honest, it.
Yeah.
Biggest thing.
Honesty is a big thing in my book. A little thing, my personal background. I spent a lot of time around a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, some of which were not good backgrounds. I have known people that, yeah, they were murderers. They had killed people. But the thing is, I knew who they were and I knew what they'd done. And I knew what they dealt with. They were honest about it. I knew what was sitting in front of me versus
Yeah.
other people that they were liars. They would always have a story. Didn't matter how small or big the problem was. It could be the smallest thing in the world. Did not even matter. They would make up something about it. I never knew who they were, what they were talking about, or what was really behind the curtain. Really, what was even in front of my face. I had a more problem with the liars in my life than I have with the murderers in my life. That says
Right.
something.
That's
So
it. Yeah.
and now extrapolate that, put it on yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, the only person you're hurting by the end of the day is yourself. You're the one that got to wake up in your shoes and go to sleep in your bed. You're the one that has to look in the mirror to yourself, and you're the one that has to be honest about why you're doing what you're doing and what you want out of life. And if you're not being honest with yourself about that, you won't ever get to where you want to be in life. And if you wake up one day 40, 50, 60 years old and you're miserable, you can't blame anyone but yourself, because in the hard, honest truth, you were dishonest with yourself.
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna leave it there.
Keep it there,
Tough
man.
love. Tough love, bro.
That's right, man.
But real shit.
All right, Cody, man. Another good talk, man.
Yes, sir.
Reconvene with next Wednesday, right, brother?
We'll do what we do every week.
Yes, sir. Absolutely,
All
man.
right.
All right, my man. Bye-bye. Peace.
Peace.